All right, for this war we have Kingpin, Kitty Pryde, and Cosmic Ghost Rider bands. All right, so Boss Island, Fury Boss, we've got Herc, Domino, and Apocalypse. For Tigra, we have S99, Human Torch, Mr. Negative. For Quicksilver, we have Elsa, Fury, Moleman. For Absman, you've got Human Torch. Could probably still use some of the science options like S99 as well. Weapon X, you've got Omega Sentinel and Nimrod. Gallon, you've got S99, you've got Wiccan, you've got Rindraw, and then you have some of the subdue options as well. Spot, you've got Blade, you've got Absman, you've got Jabari Panther, and then Cersei, you've got Diablo, Dragon Man, Rindraw, Wiccan. 1 through 3, Section 2 on the way out, Thing, S99, Gallon, Falcon, Void, Path 1, Rindraw, Titania, or S99, and then S99 or Gallon for Guardian. Path 2, Mr. Fantastic, any science or skill option really, Shang-Chi, Jabari, Fury, and then for Wiccan, throw an Incinerate Immune there along with Odin Prefights. So Human Torch, Anti-Venom, or you could just use S99 or Titania. Path 3, Spidey there, same thing, Titania, S99, and then for Omega Sentinel, Nebula or Gallon, but Gallon given Odin Prefight. All right, 4 through 6 on the way out, Sasquatch, you've got Mr. Negative, Human Torch, Titania, Apocalypse on the way in. You could still use S99, Titania, you can use Omega Sentinel, you can use Gallon. Path 5 or 4 there, Absman for Annihilus, or you can use any of the Mystic Subdue options. And then for spam, you have Fury, Elsa, or Shang-Chi. Path 5, Penny, probably just Gallon or Hulkling. And then for Nova, Absman or Tigra, or any of the Mystic Subdue options as well. I'm sure Chavez does pretty well. Path 6, really anyone for Cap Sam, but Gallon, Hulkling, probably your best bets. And then for Hulkling, you got Chavez, you got Sorcerer Supreme, you've got any of the Mystic Subdue options. 7 through 9 on the way out, Null, Chavez, Sorcerer Supreme, Diablo. On the way in, got Omega Red and Absman with Synergy. Path 7 there, Apocalypse, and then Nimrod or Omega Sentinel. Path 8 there, Kitty Pryde, Nimrod, Omega Sentinel, and then Path 9 for Bishop. You can actually use Absman for both, but you can also use Thing for both. Looking back at 1 through 3 in Section 2 on the way in, Terrax, you can go S99, or you can go with Gallon, could probably even still use Absorbing Med there. Infamous Doom, you've got Gallon and Hulkling. Korg, you've got Omega Red and Apocalypse. 1 through 3 on the way out, Mangog still can go S99 or Mr. Negative. Path 1, Kingpin, you've got Omega Red or Apocalypse. Path 2, Maul, you've got Titania or S99. And then for Mole Man, you've got Apocalypse or Omega Red. And then Path 3 there, really anyone for Mantis. Doom's been pretty helpful there. And then for Surfer, you've got Hulkling and Gallon. 1 through 4 on the way out, Doom, you've got Overseer, Mr. Negative. Path 4, Claire. You can actually take that with Absman, or you can go Overseer. Path 5 with Longshot, pretty much anyone. You could go with S99 or Mr. Negative. And then Domino, Omega Sentinel, or Nimrod. And then Valkyrie, Omega Red, or Apocalypse. 7 through 9 on the way out, Arcus, you've got Rolk. You've got Diablo. Path 7, Icarus, you've got Diablo. can probably still safely use Rolk there as well, or Dragon Man. White Magneto, you could probably still use Omega Sentinel or Nimrod, but you can also use someone like Chavez or any subdue option. Path 8, Crossbones, Omega Red, or Apocalypse. And then Path 9 there, Rolk the whole thing, or you could use Jabari for the whole thing. So that does it for defense. Let's take a look at attack. All right, so War 5 is against Furious Gods. Today I'm going to be taking in Absman, Elsa, and Rogue. Rogue is just for synergy. I've got Path 4 in Section 1 and Path 4 in Section 2, and a mini-boss on Boss Island. So Rogue coming with Absman to reduce non-damaging debuff duration. There's only one fight we're kind of concerned with that, but I don't think it ends up being a problem. So Path 4 here in the start. With Claire here, we're going to use Absman. This is kind of a flex. We weren't sure if this was going to work, but I had a game plan. And that game plan was basically block bait heavies and try my best to parry special ones and let her get her charges up to 20 so that the power gain isn't as crazy at that point. And then from that point on, still kind of manage power gain from MD. But anyways, the reason I'm baiting heavies and allowing special 1 is it'll pause my Uru form. And while it's paused, I don't have to worry about it falling off. So I'm going to be able to get to special 1 and refine it and build morph charges from whatever duration is left on my current form. And then that's just going to build, got parried there, but got out of it fast enough, build vulnerabilities. However, we don't end up doing enough special 1s with enough duration to actually place a lot of vulnerabilities. We just end up in refined form doing a lot of red damage and having our form paused, and down goes Claire. So not a very difficult fight. Happy it worked out. The next fight I actually was not assigned. It is a cleanup. We have 14k here on this Apocalypse that I'm just going to go in with Absman and an invuln boost and just knock out. He's got 4 prowess, and the node causes his special attacks to go passively unblockable. So between power snack and his charges, I'm just going to end up eating a special 1 to the face. And I probably should just dex this first beam, but I'm so used to blocking 2 and then dexing the last one that it didn't happen. So there, we had the special 1. It's unblockable. It's done. Cleanup is done. Path 4 in Section 2, Annihilus here. This is where we were a bit concerned with the debuff duration. But what you're going to see is it just doesn't matter. This is an extremely lopsided fight for Absman that we don't even have to worry about trying to pause with a light intercept or even throw a heavy while Annihilus isn't stunned into a special 1. So here I'm just going to block bait attacks as Annihilus turtles, which he will. Since I can get him to turtle on this node, I remove the flourish buffs and then I throw special 1 into him. While I've got these morph charges in the green, I'm going to go ahead and find my window to place vulnerabilities by doing medium, light, medium. There we go. And that's just going to make these red numbers even higher while we refine our form. And it's just pretty much staying paused with everything that's going on in this node. The flourish buffs being removed from the block hit actually counts. So easy. Down goes Annihilus. Spam here. Now we brought Elsa not for this spam. Elsa can just take spam. We brought Elsa for a later fight, but here the game plan is very, very simple. Obviously we're placing those buster debuffs, and then when we have special 1, we are throwing it pretty much immediately. I might finish a combo to get a couple buster debuffs on, or busted debuffs on. I can't remember which one it is. And yeah, we're just going to keep him from evading by just throwing special 1s. We're not going to have to worry about actually making him evade and throwing Cold Snap on. And we'll go unblockable from time to time from shrugging all the debuffs on this node. But yeah, Elsa spam is just pretty much a joke for Elsa on a node like this. So you can see all the red numbers, all the big burst red because of all the debuffs we've got on him. Just waiting for that special 1 to come out while we're below a bar of power, push ourselves to a bar of power, throw it, finish the fight. Full yellow bar and 34 hits. So Easy, easy fight for Elsa. We move on to our last fight, the fight Elsa actually I prefer for, and it's this Quicksilver here on Brute Force. There's a tad bit of a trick here. If you use the evade counter on his medium, you can immediately start placing cold snaps. So if you end up being worried about the evade on this node, you have the cold snaps so that you don't have to worry about it. Now you can play him entirely without ever worrying about the evade, and that's just block baiting heavies, which you have to do anyways from time to time here because of the disorient. But he's going to be played pretty much the exact same way spam is. We're going to get the busted rounds on. We're going to throw special 1. We're going to just hope to nuke him down and that he'll actually throw special attacks. And you see here I'm getting cornered just trying to get a special 1 out. So I push him to special 2 to make room. He throws a special 2 immediately, and I was ready for that, thankfully. So we got our block up. Didn't take any damage from it, at least directly, which would have pretty much nuked us. So it's back at it. Here, I'm kind of not paying attention to stun duration with Limber. It's fine. So now I start resorting to baiting heavy attacks. And we're still sitting pretty. He's at terminal velocity here, so I'm really not going to worry about or rely on stun. Although we do it there. Still ending with lights, going into special 1. He's almost done. However, I pushed him to a special 2. Now I need to bait it. I was really lucky there that actually did not catch me. I was quite surprised. Get the evade counter there. And this last special 1 should just about do it. And that was the end of my war. So I actually think I did that fight 2 seasons ago and didn't record it. So I'm happy to have that recorded. Our battle group actually only ended up dying 2 times in that war. And we actually, as an alliance, only died 3 times to their 22. So we had a really good war, really good matchup, obviously. But it's good to start the season out this way. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit like, give it a, subscribe, hit like. Now we'll catch you guys at War 6.